Welcome everyone to this episode number 2 of Inspirational Transformation Session. Now, my name is Eric Depp. I'm French. I live in Malaysia. And I am an Herbalife distributor for the past 30 years. I live in over 15 countries in the world, and I've been pioneer in 13 of them, starting the Herbalife business. My objective of this session, based on my experience as an independent entrepreneur, but also as a human being, is to inspire you to make some changes step by step in your living in order to become the best version of yourself every day. And this is why I created this ITS, Inspirational Transformation Session. All right? Why I did it on Monday? First of all, because it's the beginning of the week. Very simple. And has to start somewhere. Now, usually everybody starts on Monday. So that is why I did it on Monday. Now, why I do it in the morning? To me, there is no better time. This is the start of your day. This is where if you start good, then the rest of the day and maybe the rest of the week has a good chance to be fantastic. I hope that you agree with me. Why did I call it inspirational rather than motivational? The difference, ladies and gentlemen, is enormous, all right? Motivation would come from me to pump you out, to motivate you, to push you. So it's all about my ability of persuasion, of speaking, of motivating you. And maybe you will take some action upon it until your motivation is gone. Because I'm not there with you, behind you, pushing you. I call this an external force. Now, inspiration is completely different, as it is you, the main person, to act upon what you hear from me. I share some of my advices that, according to my own experience, did really help me. I share it with you, and then you hear it from your side, and you will see if it makes sense to you to apply it or not. It is you who is the main player to put in action because of your strong desire, which is coming from you, pushing from the inside of you, not from the outside, me. So I call this internal force. So please understand, what I will share with you will come and really come only from my own experience. And you do not have to believe one word of what I say because it is only my experience. But you can be sure that it is the truth. And some of my experience may or may not happen to you. This is up to you to judge it. It may happen differently or the same. But because you have heard my experience, maybe it will help you to deal better with the same kind of experience. So my goal of this session and episode, this is episode number 2, is to share some of my experience in order for you to be ready to face some of the situation of life, ready to act, ready to live with abundance and energy, to have a productive day, a productive week, and a productive month, and why not a productive year, to be more effective and transform your mindset into a powerful machine which can turn happiness, greatness, action, kindness into a reality of every single day. So let's get started and let's enjoy these 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes of ride of today. Great. Now, how many of you easily know how to use excuses. But also, how many of you believe that excuses are real? Have you ever said or done something that stopped you and really discouraged you from taking action towards your goals? In the next 20 minutes, I will show you how you can change your self-defeating attitude, your self-killing habits, your self-conscious negative affirmation. In these 20 minutes and after it, you will know exactly how you can control, redirect, change some of the core excuses that you have every day. And you can become the person you always wanted to be. Now, let me show you now why and how to say no to excuses. If you're truly serious, if you are truly serious about changing some habits of thoughts that have been leading you to use more than usual excuses for, unfortunately, staying and being the same, then I really encourage you to listen today and understand where these excuses come from and know they will not bring you to success or for you to become a better person. There's no way of that. Let's be inspired today by being aware and living away from our excuses. Let's really challenge us and move out of these established thoughts of negative patterns. Negative patterns means it keeps coming back. You don't know, but it keeps coming back. That's called a pattern. And let's eliminate excuses because, trust me, they are most of them false belief. False belief. And when we do that, taking away those excuses, that means that each and every one of us become more responsible. Excuses and negative self-talk are really common problems. And they are usually what stops most of us from what I call fulfilling our dreams, getting our dreams a reality. But they are not apparent until we become what we call conscious of them. That means become aware. That means we realize, oh, that's an excuse. And it's not until you become conscious of them that you can start to begin changing them. And it will help you to move forward. That's what we're going to talk today. It's a huge subject, excuses. But we all have. Unfortunately, we do not recognize them sometimes. So today I'm going to try to help you to recognize some of them. Now, let's start to see what I call the definition of excuses. You know, you go through, you can go through Wikipedia and you will see the definition. Now, as they say, definition of an excuse is an explanation for something that went wrong. When we give an excuse, we're trying to get someone to cut us. Sometimes we are trying ourselves to cut ourselves out. Excuse may be true, false, or a bit of both, you know. They just affect how people feel about situation. The reason something is happening is a result of how and why. Everything happened because we say how and why. A reason may or may not also be an excuse. Be careful. If the reason is something that can be justified, then it is an excuse. An excuse exists to justify, to blame, or defend a fault with the intent to, what we say, absolve oneself of accountability. Now, I know it's difficult to understand that, but it's like I make an excuse so I take away the fault from me. It's not me, so I feel better. You know, how many people make excuses, and because of the excuses, they feel better because now it's not anymore of their responsibility. Making excuses can be hopefully close to whining. Oh, poor me. I can't do that. Poor this, poor that. Therefore, they are quite self destructive. Don't you think so? So the question is, why are we all making excuses? Now, please listen carefully to that. It's not easy sometimes because there are some words that looks very strange, very big, but very simple to understand. Excuses are rationalization we make to ourselves about people, including us, events, and circumstances. What does that mean? It means that we have to be rational in life. And if it's not logic, that it's not okay. So I make an excuse in terms of making logic the fact that I am not doing that. They are, as a matter of fact, invented reasons that we create to defend our behavior, maybe to postpone taking an action, or simply as a means of neglecting responsibility. That's great, you know. I take away the responsibility, and of course, it's not my fault, it's the fault of the excuse. Can you hear me? Can you believe that? We are very easy, all of us, to make an excuse for everything. So I am out of it. I'm out of the picture. Now, let's understand what are the common excuses that we have every day. Let's see, okay? And then I will give you many more, but let's see a few of it, okay? One of the, we hear very often is, oh, I cannot afford it. I cannot afford it. Let me tell you, whenever you discourage yourself with thoughts that your financial situation, I cannot afford it, is preventing you to have it, that's an excuse. Whenever you say I cannot afford it, means so, it's an excuse. That you say, well, you know, I cannot afford it, so I don't have to buy it. Because that's only an excuse. That's very simple. And therefore, if it's like that, we need to act. I cannot afford it is an excuse that many people who are not considered wealthy use as a means for exonerating themselves when they need a rationalization for why they are stuck with it. Now, what does that mean? It means that it's an excuse for people who don't have any money to take them out of the picture, because it's logic. If I cannot afford a better house, I cannot afford to pay that. So they are stuck in that situation, so they need a logic answer to respond to a logic situation. There is a gentleman, if you heard about him, I hope so, Henry Ford, says, whether you believe you can afford to do a thing or not, you are right. I repeat that. Whether you can believe you can afford to do a thing or not, you are right. because you are thinking that way. So one of the common excuse we have many times is, hey, I can afford it. And whoops, we are out of the picture. One of the next excuses many people have, oh, it will be difficult. Have you ever heard that? Maybe from somebody else, or maybe from some of you. Oh, it's difficult. It's not difficult. It will be difficult. It's clearly an excuse designed to discourage you. It's going to be difficult anyway, then why not opt from you some useful suffering? Still, the fact is that you have absolutely no evidence that you like to change is in fact going to be challenging. What does that mean, that? It means that, oh, it's difficult. All right, it's going to be difficult, so let's do it. Let's suffer a little bit, because as a matter of fact, I'm not quite sure if it's going to be challenging or not. I'm not quite sure. I just imagine it's going to be difficult. What if I do the best I can and I push in it, and let's see. It's just as likely to be easy for you to change your thinking as it is to be hard. What do I mean by that? If you change your thinking, it's easy. But if you don't change it, it's very hard, because it will be always difficult. It will not change on that. The belief that they are going to be hard, the belief that they are going to be hard to change is only a belief. You see, the belief that you have is going to be difficult is only a belief. Making something difficult in your mind is an excuse. Somebody says, coming from a Taoist, nothing in the world is difficult for those who set their mind on it. I repeat that. Nothing in the world is difficult for those who set their mind to it. If your mind is set to go there, to do that, it will not be difficult. Maybe you have some challenge. Maybe it's worth the challenge, because you will get what you have envisioned, because you have put it in your mind. One of the excuses, it will take a long time to do that. Is this really a valid reason, or just an excuse not to proceed? Or it will take a long time? How long does it take? Do you know? A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. When the people are doing an Ironman or a marathon, they're not thinking, oh, how long is it going to take? They get prepared and they go. It's going to take the time it takes. That's very simple. Focus on the present moment. This is for people thinking it will take a long time. I don't know how long it will take. Let's think about right now. Let's think about right now. Focus on the present moment. I have a question for you. How old will you be in 5 years if you continue to do what you do now? Think about it, okay? Answer for you. Now, I have another question. How old will you be in 5 years if you start to work on yourself and on your dream? It's confusing, huh? But this is a way of answering the question of how long it takes. It's confusing. Doesn't matter. Because what is matter is right now. What is happening right now? Not tomorrow. Not my son is every day saying, oh, how many homeworks I have? I say to him, don't worry about homework. Let's start now. By the time you go on, you will see. But let's do it now. And every day, how many homeworks? How many? Doesn't matter. Let's do it now. Let's get present now. One of the good excuses from people is, oh, I am too busy. Wow. Understand, all of the activities of your life, including those that takes a huge portion of your time, are simply the result of your choice you make. That's your choice to be busy. Surely one of the major purposes of life is to be happy, okay? And if you are using the excuses that you are too busy to be happy, you've made a choice to be busy. And in the process, you cope out on living your life on purpose. Therefore, let me tell you, you need to re-examine your priorities. So how do you prioritize your life? You are busy because you choose to. You are busy because you want to. I have an example for you. What fit your busy schedule better? Let me ask you, what really fit your busy schedule better? Exercising 1 hour a day or being dead 24 hours a day? Which one is more important to you? Exercising 1 hour a day or being dead 24 hours a day? Well, when we're dead, we're far away from being busy. But exercising will maybe make you busy an hour, but it can save you years of living with an active lifestyle. Practice every day to elevate your thoughts. Every day, no matter how busy and important you are, rather than insisting that you are too busy to exercise. Think, I exercise, as an example, I exercise because I am way too busy to take time for being sick. You understand that? That's the way of removing those excuses away. Now, let me give you quickly some kind of excuses that many people have, that maybe you have or maybe I have had sometimes. I have also excuses. Guys, we are all human beings, okay? We're not robots so far. We're not artificial intelligence so far. We're all human beings. And it could happen that we have excuses. So some of our other excuses are, example, I am too old to start. Well, as long as you are still living and breathing, there's nothing old. I'm not talented enough. Well, all it requires is hard work and dedication. Oh, I wasn't born in the right area on the right time. I come from a poor background. Let me tell you, some of the most successful people got there with little but a few dollars in their pocket. Amazing story of people starting from zero, minus zero, being today millionaire, billionaires. I'm not smart enough. The key to learning is to start from somewhere and make progress every day. Oh, I don't have the support. What about your drive and motivation and inspiration? Get that. Oh, I don't have enough time, like I'm too busy. My family and friends don't think I'm capable. Have you heard about that one? Now, no one can tell you how capable you are, really, besides yourself. Nobody. Nobody can judge you. You are the judge of yourself, nobody else. I don't know if I will succeed. Excuses. I have already dedicated myself to a different way. Well, let me tell you, it's never too late to change path. That happened. I'm just not lucky enough. Have you heard that one too? The good one. The difference is you just don't see the opportunities that are presented to you because you're not prepared. That's why you're not lucky enough. You're not prepared for opportunities coming to you. Oh, I didn't have the right teachers. I am not destined to succeed. Well, let me tell you, everything that happened in your life is all due in part of the decision you make. In other words, you deserve to be who you are where you are. That's the way. Some people say, well, I'm not motivated enough. Or I'm easily distracted. Well, the key thing is to be disciplined, dedicated to a certain period of your time and help move you forward to your goal. So discipline yourself for a time in order to move to your goals. That is the counterpart of the thoughts of this excuse. I'm not educated enough. Yeah, you will hear that. Experience always will be the best educator. Your experience of life is the best education that you can have in life. Oh, I can handle failure. The more you fail, the better it is, because you get nearer and nearer from solution. I will start tomorrow. How many of you have heard that? There is no such as a future. Tomorrow maybe we're dead. We don't know. So let's do it now. This is the present time. Let's do it now. Oh, I am not ready. You can never be prepared to get started. You can never be prepared to get started. Meaning so? Get prepared. Then you can start. Then you will be ready. I don't believe I can do. Have you heard about all this? And there's so many more. So now, stop making excuses that keep you away from reaching your own dreams. Now, we have all these excuses every day. So how to counterpart those excuses of every day? Let me share with you my own experience and the way that I learned to do that as well. Number one, you have to be aware and realize that your mind is talking to you, and your mind is giving you the excuses. This is one part of your mind. You have to be aware of that. Now, if you're not aware, you're going to make excuses after excuses after excuses after excuses. In your mind, you become the creator, the director, the comedian of the own movie that you're doing. Everything is coming from your mind. So when you put an excuse through your mouth, it comes from your mind. Therefore, the first thing to be aware is, is it an excuse that I'm talking about? Be aware and realize. Number two, what I always do is I envision what could be the worst happening. What would be the worst happening with this excuse? If I do, if I don't do. What is the worst thing that can happen? I'm envisioning it. Number three, I find a way to put this excuse into a positive statement. Oh, I cannot do it. What is the worst that can happen? Well, the worst happen is I will not get that car that I want to buy. What is the worst that can happen if I do it? I will still have made more money. And instead of saying, I cannot do it, I would say, if I get prepared, I will be able to reach that dream. If I get prepared, I will be more, if I start to learn, I will be more prepared, as an example. So my negative excuse, I put it in a positive statement for me. And now I envision what could be happening if I take the action instead of buying my excuses. What will happen really when I will get that car? You understand? That's the way. And the last thing that I do, I take action. I take action immediately, not tomorrow, not the next, immediately towards the goal that I have envisioned. And the excuse is, if we start to do that, every time that we have an excuse, you're going to see your life is going to change. You will find solution more than excuses. So how can you make, and that's the difficulty of it, how can you make permanent your state of no excuses? And there is only one way. I'm sorry to say so. There is no secret to me. At least I don't know the secret yet. But the only thing that I know is about practice, practice, practice. Every single day, to be conscious, to be aware of yourself and about what you say at every moment. Make sure that you think before you talk, and not talk, put it your excuse, and then think. Think, talk. Because unfortunately, whatever comes out of your mouth is going to impact you inside. Now, already it's something that comes out of your mind impact you, impact us. But from the mouth is even worse. So before talking, think. And instead of creating the excuses, learn to be aware. What is the worst? Counterpart. Next affirmation. Boom, 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 boom. And envision the result. That's how, if you do that every single day, then you can have every day, and you can live every day in full and positive spirit. So let me ask you to conclude about today. What if you have, whatever you have heard today, you can start every day to put something in practice. Do you think that it will enhance your life or make it more terrible? For sure, it will create some differences into your spirit. So I challenge you for this week to put in practice some of my suggestions to create your own way and apply it every day. And I guarantee you that at the end of this week, you might be and you will be a different person. Remember, we are all human, not tree. So we can, all of us, improve and change when you are ready. Are you ready for it? That's a question. If you are, act now. So let's start to implement, and let's live a life full of health and wealth, inside and outside. And I will see you next week into my third episode of our inspirational transformation session. Again, my name is Eric Depp. I am here for you. Thank you, everybody, to be online, and I wish you to have a fantastic week. Thank you, everybody. See you next week. Bye-bye.